welcome to our project management presentation. Our presentation is on Agile methodology and the Capital One. Capital One recently acquired a company called ING and they introduced Agile methodology into their systems. This resulted in this resounding success, and this is why we're doing our presentation on it. My name is Aaron, I'm the project leader. This is Emmanuel, Jay and Kira. Kira will be starting off the presentation and I'll let her take it from here.
I'll be focusing on the differences between the traditional project management methods and the Agile method by focusing on the differences between planning, monitoring and execution.
And I'll be continuing on and talking about the control differences between traditional and Agile methodology. Then I'll be following on to the next question, which is the 6 challenges that we found project managers can face when using Agile methodology in software development, IT and creative computing sectors. And the fourth point is training, and I also cover that.
I'll be covering the financial challenges in implementing Agile methodology and the importance of using communication. And I shall lead on to Emmanuel.
Following from Aaron, I'll be covering setting unrealistic goals, technologies and risk assessment.
Question 2, how do Agile methods handle client requirements differently when compared to traditional development? Planning is one of the main differences between the traditional SDLC and Agile method. Agile differs in the planning where IT and business were 2 different groups, but with Agile they've come together. By working together they can bounce off each other. One has more business experience, one has more IT experience, and then they can put their ideas together. Another difference would be the clients, they're constantly meeting up with them, they're getting reviews, they can start over again if the client doesn't like it, if the client does like it, whereas in the system development life cycle, it's all done in the one go and then the client is receiving the information for the first time. When it's done and if they don't like it, they have to start again. Whereas with Agile, they're constantly having meetings, they're constantly meeting up, and they constantly get feedback on where they're at in the project. The execution and monitoring of projects. The SDLC focuses more on successful product service, while Agile will mainly focus on successful product service towards client requirements. The SDLC does not receive feedback because it's all done in the one go. They're just constantly working on it without getting any feedback from the client whether they like it or not. Whereas Agile will avoid this altogether, which is why it worked very well for the Capital One team.
So with control, Agile is more flexible. It allows more changes to happen throughout the development stage as well as during the planning stage. Unlike the SDLC method, you can only make changes after the development when you receive feedback from the clients. There's less risk detection for SDLC, whereas with Agile there's early detection of issues because after each sprint they review each sprint and find any issues or problems and they solve them first, beginning again the next sprint. The reason Agile is more flexible as well is because the use of user stories, they may change and user requirements, and as they change throughout the sprints they can implement these changes into the next sprint. Whereas with SDLC they have to stick to the plan, and then for development refer to the first initial plan. They can't make any changes throughout until the end where they start all over again. And this makes more time, which might make up for more cost for them using that method. So then moving on to the next question, we researched the 6 project management challenges that project managers can face when following Agile methodology. So the first one was training. Excuse me. In order for Agile methodology to work, all employees have to be trained efficiently, because there's new environments, different teams are working together that never usually would have worked together in the traditional methodologies. This requires a lot of training in new systems, in team bonding, various different genres, especially in Agile. There's so much dependency on the Scrum Master. They have a really big role to make sure Agile runs smoothly and correctly, no issues. So the project manager would have to ensure that there is a highly qualified and experienced Scrum Master. If none of the employees have done Agile before, then maybe the experience would be required from thorough training. So in order for the Scrum Master to be experienced, the training is very important, and this would be a large challenge for a project manager to face when implementing Agile.
As we stated in our introduction, I'll be covering the financial challenges in implementing Agile methodologies and communication. Start off with financial challenge. One thing a project manager will face immediately is the challenge of having to ensure a budget is created in order to be prepared for possible financial struggles. Obviously, implementing Agile methodology is a huge undertaking which can change the company's philosophy, their structure, even their methods, such as like setting up new teams, training employees, and rearranging office dynamics. They all come with a huge cost, as well as making up for the lost time and delay on project schedule due to training. Thankfully, it's not all bad. There are some really good positives, because introducing Agile can also lead to financial benefits due to running projects better. The project manager will face a challenge of trying to plan everything that goes into the budget and work out how much Agile will cost the organisation. But once all that's been sorted, they're going to reap the benefits of it. This, of course, then leads into communication, which is a major factor of Agile methodology, as it requires good communication across distributed teams for them to work well together and be able to share feedback and other work. Some team members may struggle with this, as it differs from the traditional methods they were previously working on. But once they kind of get over that, again, you'll be kind of seeing the benefits of like implementing Agile methodology. They may not be communicating as much as they should. This could prove a challenge for project managers to ensure good communication is happening within these teams. A solution to this may lie in the use of better technology that allows teams to communicate with ease.
As stated previously by my colleague Aaron, communication is key when project managers are setting up new technologies. The organisation would have to find out requirements such as cost, ease of use, and if the team would need training with setting up the new technology. Some examples of this new tech, which is used in Agile, is companies such as Microsoft Link, Google Handouts, and Trello. Going on to risk assessment. Project managers face the challenge of the projects being low and where pitfalls may occur in setting up the new project and setting up the new technologies. Finding out these pitfalls would prove valid in ensuring that the team and the organisation reach deadlines as well. Going on to the next topic, setting unrealistic goals. When using Agile, project managers face setting unrealistic goals, unrealistic targets for their teams. These could prove valid failure as each project manager sets an unrealistic goal and an unrealistic target. The deadlines may not be met, the capability may not be met, and the project team may fall out because they can't reach the goal as well. The organisation would be in disarray as well by the goals set by the project managers. Small projects are beneficial for these projects and for these goals as well, rather than a larger project for a bigger organisation.
In conclusion, we found many differences between the traditional and Agile methods of the project management.
The differences we found were the planning, executing and monitoring, and the training. There's many differences found between these.
In conclusion, towards the 6 challenges in implementing Agile methodology, we covered the most important that we came across, but there are others which my colleague Emmanuel will go through.
Yeah, the challenges we found were linked to the case study, which was included in Capital 1, but there are many more out there, such as quality control, effective use of cost, and balancing out projects.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed our presentation.